Hey everybody, Drew here for Drew.Underground, back with another bench clearing Brouhaha, episode 13, division uh division round of the NFL playoff review and conference championship preview. Joining me this fine evening, gotta turn the speaker up, my younger brother, the one and only, Rob, aka Desert Nord as we call him on the gaming streams on the main channel. Hey bro.
Yep, they do.
God damn it, Joshy. Sorry, folks. Joshy keeps texting me about
You just mute it for a little bit.
about the Rick and Morty shit going on. Even Clownfish TV is covering it. Yes. Yes, I think this is major news. I got some shot to talk about on this one. Yeah. I'd say let's talk about this weekend, please. I'm just telling him, okay, now shut the fuck up. Anyway, if you're watching this, yeah, you are watching this, Joshy. Yes, we will talk about it this weekend. Now, please stop making the phone ring. Anyway, we're here to talk about football, and I see Joshy in the chat. Hello, Joshy. Anyway, what was I going to say about football here? Oh, the division round.
Yeah, the division round was this past week.
Oh, fuck, I got to bring the fucking scores up still. God damn it. Here we go. So on that note, while I'm trying to bring the scores up here, your thoughts up to this point without seeing scores here?
There was almost no surprises.
There was a few surprises from my point of view.
I said almost none.
Yeah.
Just a few. Less than
Shut up with your ads, NFL.com. God damn it. So, before I get to the scores, Packers are in the finals. Yeah, in the finals of your wet dreams, Joshy.
Why does he keep talking about the Packers? God's sakes, man, stop it. Just let it go.
At least our teams, Colts and Texans respectively, in the same division, the AFC South, at least we didn't go to the fucking playoffs and didn't even have a shot at it. So, shut up, Joshy. Mm-hmm. But, as it is, yeah, both of our teams need quarterbacks and I don't need a running back. You technically don't because you got a young kid who's pretty good with the Texans, right?
Who are we talking about?
The Texans running back and the Colts running back situations. They're pretty much the same thing.
They're okay at that position.
Yeah.
They got a lot of other things to think.
You guys got a guy like in the second round who's pretty good. We got Taylor, who's even better.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan needs to retire, and we need to
one of the only
trade for Aaron Rodgers anyway. What was that?
I was saying Jonathan Taylor is one of the only bright spots on that Colts team right now.
Which is why I said we need to trade for Aaron Rodgers.
They need to trade to half the team for something else.
Although
they need to find a defense
although I'm pretty sure that if Brady decides he's going to play again, or when he decides he's going to play again, he's not bound to the Buccaneers because that was a 1-year contract, right?
He's not bound to the Bucs. He could go wherever.
So, Tom Brady, I know I hit your guts, but the blue and white are calling you, old man.
Yeah, imagine Tom Brady finishing where Peyton started.
Go for 46ers. Okay, now
it's almost poetic.
Now he switched sports entirely.
46ers. You mean 76ers or you mean 49ers?
It says go 46ers. I think he's trying to create a team here because there's 70. I think he's combining the 76ers with the 49ers.
I think that's probably the 46ers is like an Austrian ski team we should be rooting for right now.
If Josh is creating his own sports team, wouldn't it be the 69ers? Anyway.
Probably not, but yeah.
But
sure.
But either way, both of our teams need a franchise quarterback. Matt Ryan's not the answer. Neither was Phillip Rivers or Carson Wentz for the Colts. Brady would be a one-time thing, so therefore my suggestion would be go try to get Brady if the Colts can. Still go after a quarterback in the first round so Brady can show him the ropes, so when Brady's done after one season, we got our franchise quarterback that Brady showed how to be an NFL quarterback from in the first round. Problem solved.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to say, though, is, like, obviously that's off-season moves and draft talk. So, like, that's completely between now and, like,
April,
yeah.
Which we'll do some of that eventually. Like, probably like a pre-draft, like a draft preview stream, like the weekend before the draft or something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to do an off-season move stream and then a draft stream and all that, you know.
Yeah, eventually. Or, like, if, like, anything major happens, like Brady coming to Indianapolis or Rodgers getting traded to us. Anyway. Or Jimmy G getting traded.
So the first game, I don't know which one is first on your list, but...
Well, according to NFL.com, the first one was on Saturday. It was the Jaguars-Chiefs game.
Okay.
And this was a closer game than I think anyone was expecting. Mostly because Patrick Mahomes got his ankle hurt about halfway through the game. Or
it was actually in the
first quarter, yeah. And then he sat out the second quarter, just about the entire second. No, it was the entire second quarter. Getting all pissed on the sideline, go in the locker room to get his ankle checked out and whatever. And then he came back and played through the injury for the entire second half, and the Chiefs won 27-20 over the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. So the Jaguars fought valiantly, but they couldn't quite do it.
However, my notes on the game, because I did watch this and did not fall asleep, fortunately, or unfortunately, given the fact that Jaguars lost. First note is, refs falsely call roughing the passer on the Jaguars. No surprise. Second note, the Jaguars squander every opportunity in the third quarter to take the lead and maybe pull ahead of the Chiefs because the Chiefs weren't doing shit during the third quarter.
Yep.
And finally, the refs apparently hate Trevor Lawrence, and they refuse to call roughing for him, but not for Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the refs screwed the Jaguars. The Jaguars screwed the Jaguars with how many opportunities they had that they did nothing with.
Sure, the stat sheet. If you take a look at the stat sheet instead of calls or whatever, you'll see that the Chiefs did a lot better in the stat sheet than the Jags did.
Yeah,
both at quarterback and at running back.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely a tight end. Tight end, it wasn't even a contest.
Yeah,
because
the Jaguars apparently don't know what a tight end is because they weren't defending against him.
I'm just saying that to compare the two teams in terms of performance, the Chiefs did better than the Jaguars at almost every level. And so the fact that the Jaguars
Joshy says in the chat that I'm busting your behinds. LOL.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, Joshy. Anyway.
The fact that the Jaguars came so close is actually amazing, given that they were not keeping up on any level with the Chiefs in terms of the stat sheet. I think it's actually only because Mahomes sat out the second quarter that this game was as close as it was.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sort of seemed inevitable. It was going to be a Cinderella thing if the Jags could actually beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs were favored heavily. So, I mean, it's just what you should have expected to happen. It happened.
Joshy in the chat, I call the Chiefs the Cheeks.
Okay.
I think
Anyway.
I think Joshy's drunk.
Yeah, maybe. So that's really all I could say about the Chiefs versus Jags game. It was kind of expected to be this way. It's just sort of, I guess, props to the Jags for keeping it this close. They kept it respectable.
Yeah, indeed.
Unlike the next one you're about to talk about.
Yeah, this one, we didn't know what to expect, but I'm not surprised that a blowout. Eagles 38, Giants 7. And my one and only note on this is the NFL is so incompetent that the chain broke during this game.
Well, never mind that, but...
Well, keeping in mind what I mean by, for those watching or who will watch this later, what I mean by the chain broke is there's poles on the sidelines that keep track of like the first down and whatnot on the field. Now on TV, we see the lines on the field. The players can't see that whatsoever. So they have to rely on these poles that are bound together by a chain so that when they measure it, the chain stretches all the way out to measure the full 10 yards, right? Mm-hmm. Well, apparently during the beginning of this game, the chain fucking broke. So so there was a stoppage of the game. At first we were concerned, like, all right, who almost died now? The chain died. The chain decided that it had had enough and decided that the game was over right then and there. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what quarter it was because I didn't write it down, but it was just one of the funniest things that I've seen. Just these referees and NFL officials trying to fix an orange chain during a playoff game.
Yeah, but that says nothing whatsoever about the game itself. I mean, you're going on and on and on about the stupid chain.
But the game itself was just as hilarious.
Well, here's the thing.
When it came right down to it, because the Giants
on this side of the other conference here.
Yeah.
We talked about the I think it's the AFC and the other one, or the NFC, I forget. This is the other conference.
The Chiefs and the Jaguars are the AFC. The Giants and Eagles are in the National Conference.
Yeah. And so this was the similar story with the Giants and the Eagles. The Giants were the Cinderella candidate here. If the Giants had beat the Eagles, it would have been a Cinderella comeback, an underdog blow. It would have been an underdog story, amazing underdog story, because the Eagles have been dominating all year. They've been nearly the top defense, if not the top defense, and one of the top offenses at the same time. So they've been a powerhouse all year. And the Giants have been kind of hobbling along, doing quite well, and sort of taking advantage of their schedule. So this was going to be unlikely, just like the Chiefs versus Jags. This was going to be an unlikely outcome for the Giants if the Giants could pull it off.
And as the joke needs to be made, the clock struck midnight on the Giants, and the big bad eagle blew the Giants' house down.
Yeah, it's just a matter of the Giants being better. The Eagles being better on both sides of the ball than the Eagles.
And special teams
really showed itself.
Yeah.
They were scoring defensive points, offensive points, defending perfectly. I mean, it was just no chance for the Giants to do anything for most of the game.
Okay, good. That's only someone live on Twitch.
But yeah, as expected, the Giants are down by the Eagles. I mean, this was what we expected. we definitely didn't expect the other way around. So
Yeah.
this is totally right in line with expectations.
However, the other AFC game was not in line with expectations whatsoever. We were expecting a fight, a vicious one.
Yeah.
The Bills got completely fucking neutered.
Well,
by the Bengals.
It was closer in some of the other stat lines than
the Eagles Giants game
would tell you. The Bills came into this superior just by a hair in terms of season performance to the Bengals. Across the board, by the way, and ended up not performing well because of the weather. Now, at least that's my opinion.
And they were at home too.
Yeah, exactly. and it turns out not only the Buffalo Bills, but the city of Buffalo itself keeps getting crippled by snow. And the team was no different in this one. They got crippled by snow and didn't do nearly as well as they could have. And are now out of the playoffs. Despite all the hoopla and all the national attention and everything involving Damar and all that rigmarole.
By the way, he was supposedly there in a booth, but with how heavy the snow was, you couldn't see him. So how do we really know it was even him?
Yeah, their whole conspiracy erupted about whether or not Damar was actually there, whether it was a double or whether they it's sort of like everybody busted out the tinfoil all of a sudden on that one.
So
it's sad, but it's the sign of the times with people right now.
So my notes on the Bills-Bengals game, there's only two of them. Bengals break the plane of the end zone, but refs don't call it a touchdown. Bengals challenge and refs overturn it. Refs got to call right for a goddamn change. However, later in the game, now this bogus call in no way influenced the outcome because it wasn't really that close anyway. But still, I wrote the hashtag not fixed just as a fucking joke anyway at this point. Allen fumbles the ball. Refs overturn the original call on the field, claiming that it was an incomplete pass and not a fumble. Meanwhile, the ball was coming out of his hand just before his arm started moving forward. In other words, the Tom Brady tuck rule is now the Josh Allen tuck rule. Anyway. Hashtag not fixed. But as it is. Yeah, those are my two notes on the Bills-Bengals game. Bengals are moving on, 27-10. We thought it was going to be a dogfight. It wasn't really that close. The Bills fell down and went, oh God, my leg, and Kitty went meow.
Yeah, we figured this game would be sort of indelible, sort of a memory stone in this season, or certainly in the postseason. And I think it's pretty representative of. I mean, what were we talking about a couple of weeks ago? We were talking about a Bills player falling down. Well, now the whole team is down. Whole team's down.
Yeah.
They're down. They're out. They're out of the playoffs. Their season's over.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a great season, and things almost ended tragically. I guess thankfully they didn't.
Yeah.
But their season is over now.
Mm-hmm.
So their season ended tragically, even if Damar Hamlin's life didn't.
The final game for the division round, I was the most hyped for. It harkened back to the 90s, Cowboys, Niners. Both teams are good. Offenses, defenses. Not really either offense showed up, though. The defenses showed up like hell, though.
Yeah, both teams' defenses were nuts. Nick Bosa on the 49ers side. And,
I was right about one thing.
Cowboys side.
I was predicting a dogfight for this. Yeah, we got one, but I was predicting an offensive dogfight. We got a defensive dogfight.
Yeah, this was, This was more in the vein of greatest show on turf sort of situation.
Greatest defense on turf.
No, I know, but the reason I mentioned that game is because
Yeah.
the greatest show on turf game, Super Bowl, that I'm referring to when I say that,
Yeah.
was a very, very defensive battle. It was a low scoring game.
Yeah.
It was defense the whole game.
We're talking the
On both
St.
sides.
Louis Rams at the time versus the Tennessee Titans.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But
And it was basically the two top defenses in the league versus each other.
and that's apparently what we
Which
got
is
here.
pretty
The
much
top two defenses kicking ass.
Yeah, it's pretty much what this was also. I mean, you could argue it was.
And
defenses
in my
versus each
opinion, the rightful team did win. The Niners win 19-12. So
Sure, I had said from the outset, from the very beginning of this playoff, that the 49ers were favored to win the whole thing.
yeah,
So that still remains in line with what's happening here.
that's your opinion.
No, it is, because they're moving on to the conference round now.
They are.
So
But
it's,
speaking
yeah.
of the conference round, we got to preview that now. So up first, the first game on Sunday, the 29th, coming up here this weekend. The 49ers go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. If the 49ers offense plays like they did against the Cowboys defense, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. No question.
Yeah. Yeah, the 49ers offense has to show up because the Eagles offense sure as hell will.
Yeah. But the Niners defense has shown this past round against the Cowboys that they can show up. And if they do,
they can keep a powerful team down.
Yeah, they can. But the Eagles are far more fucking powerful than the Cowboys offense, though.
Well, the thing I would be concerned about is we just watched the Cowboys keep the 49ers to 19 points.
Yes.
And you could argue that the Eagles defense is better.
Yeah.
Than the Cowboys defense.
Which is
so if the 49ers don't score that much points in this game,
they're fucked.
They better stop the Eagles from scoring.
Yeah. Which is why my prediction for the NFC Championship is the Eagles winning and going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because
I do still favor the 49ers. Like I said, I've considered them the favorite to win the whole thing from the start, and I still do.
Yeah.
So in this one, it's all about whether or not the 49ers can keep the Eagles offense down. If they can keep the Eagles offense down, then they can pull it off. If they can't, then yeah, it's over for the 49ers.
Now, before the injury to the ankle of Mahomes in the division round, my prediction would have been, the Chiefs are probably going to rip the kitty's tongue out and go to the Super Bowl to play the Eagles. Now, this is a whole nother story because Mahomes it's obviously going to play on that ankle, and if he has a knee problem because of it too, he's going to play on it.
Yeah.
Which means I have to go back and say I expect Kitty to go meow and go to a second Super Bowl here to play the Eagles with my prediction.
The thing about this matchup is that this is the now established veteran Mahomes, because he is now.
Yeah. This is essentially the new Brady versus Manning rivalry right here.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone would argue he isn't.
And number two is
statistically and
Joe.
In terms of performance. But see, Joe is the new guy. Joe is up and coming. He's still proving himself as we go right now.
I'm willing to say that Joe Burrow is this. If Patrick Mahomes has to be the best quarterback in the AFC, then Joe Burrow has to be number two. Then.
Mm-hmm.
So the two best quarterbacks.
Well, Joe Burrow is definitely top five. Definitely. Yeah. You couldn't argue he was any lower than that.
So who in the hell would you put above Burrow then?
Well, I just said Mahomes is the best quarterback.
Well, I know that, but you said Joe Burrow is top five. Who the hell's ahead of him then?
Well,
if he's not number two,
you have Dak Prescott, who statistically is better, especially in the
put Burrow above him,
round, or not division round, but wild card round. He did amazing.
He did great too. Yeah, but I would still put Burrow above him. But secondly, I'm also talking about AFC. The guy you're talking about for the Cowboys is in the NFC.
Oh, well, if you're going to parse it out and say who's the best quarterback in the AFC, that's a different question entirely. I was just talking about the whole league.
Well, fine then, the whole league. Fine. I'll give you that.
But my point is that the man is top 5, and I'm talking about all arguments. I'm not talking about like my personal opinion. I'm just saying the average of all summaries would say he's top 5.
I'm talking about inabilities as a quarterback here.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's excellent. I wouldn't try and say he isn't. But he is going up against arguably the best quarterback in the league.
So let's say the Bengals beat the Chiefs and go on to win the Super Bowl. Is Joe Burrow still only going to be number 5 to you?
Well, considering this would be Joe Burrow's first time going this far,
no, he was here last year and beat the Chiefs last year, went to the Super Bowl and lost last year. Remember?
Okay, fair enough. Point being that he didn't win, okay?
Correct,
So
but he did win the AFC Championship, though.
This is another chance for him to actually do that.
Well, he did win the AFC Championship last year, so which is exactly where we're at here.
The other thing we have to consider is that teams are not just the quarterback. Teams are the quarterback and every other.
And they have Higgins, they have Chase, they have Mixon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
the Bengals have a great offense and a very good defense.
Chiefs essentially, for the most part, have Mahomes.
Well, they have Mahomes
and Kelsey.
Kelsey. In fact, that's the best quarterback tight end tandem in the league.
True.
So.
But Joe has more weapons to work with than Pat seems to.
I would say that the Chiefs are vulnerable on defense.
I
Where
agree.
the Bengals are going to get their best shot to win the game.
Yeah.
Is by exploiting the defense of the Chiefs.
And as we've seen from the Bengals, unlike the Jaguars and the Bills, the Bengals are capable of actually capitalizing on situations.
The way I see it, though, the way Mahomes and the offense of the Chiefs is, the Bengals are going to have to score a minimum of 25 points to win this game.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. And 30 preferably. 30 would put them safe.
Well, more ish. Assuming that Mahomes does something on that ankle and that leg of his. But as we've seen him hopping around in the previous round, he ain't going to be that mobile. So he's
taken out of the game for whatever reason. Then yes, the Bengals have a wide open shot to win.
And even with Mahomes out there with his bad wheel, he ain't going to be that mobile. So he's going to have to beat him with his arm at that point. So you're taking away half of Mahomes' game, right? Well, I should say that the Bills did. They were what?
You mean the Jaguars?
No, Mahomes got hurt in the Bills game. Oh wait, fuck. Yeah, you're right, Jags. Never mind.
Yeah, the Jags.
The Bills played the Bengals. Fuck me.
Anyway,
what do you expect for a Colts fan? I can't remember shit. Anyway,
this is a really good playoff setup.
Yes,
this conference. Because truly, any team could win any of these two games.
Yeah.
It really could go either way. There is no lopsided. There's no real underdogs here.
I've said recently at work, the 4 best teams that were in the playoffs are competing for the conference championships here. So this is the best case scenario. The 4 top teams fighting for the Lombardi Trophy here. Just like the worst teams trying to fight over the top pick in the NFL draft.
And so there's only a couple of possibilities for the Super Bowl now. Only a couple. You could have the 49ers versus the Chiefs, the 49ers versus the Bengals, or the Eagles versus the Chiefs, or the Eagles versus the Bengals, or the Bengals versus the Eagles, or the Chiefs versus the 49ers, or the Chiefs versus the Eagles. I mean, there's really only a handful of possibilities here now. So
not even a handful.
Yeah, barely a handful.
But if I'm being
So I
honest,
guess basically the question now is, who do we think it will be?
well, if we look at our predictions, I got the Eagles winning the NFC Championship, and I got the Bengals winning the AFC title. So for my prediction, Eagles versus Bengals. However,
And you know what? You know what
yeah,
else this is, by the way? This is East Coast versus West Coast possibility.
Indeed.
And both
And
of those games are East Coast versus West Coast.
in the case of the Chiefs, they're Midwest.
Yeah, I know, but they're still considered a Western team.
Yeah, barely.
No, I know, barely, but technically, based on the way the NFL divides things, they are. So
I say look at the time zones. If the Chiefs are still in the Central time zone, they're Midwest as far as I'm fucking concerned.
no, I know, but even the Vikings are considered a Western team.
Fuck that shit.
By comparison.
Fuck that shit. Anyway. However, like I was saying, but the more intriguing thought here is not Eagles versus Bengals or Eagles versus Chiefs. Picture the Niners beating the Eagles and the Bengals beating the Chiefs. That's a matchup from the 90s when Montana was the quarterback of the Niners and Boomer Esiason was the quarterback of the Bengals, in which the 49ers won. And we famously know that at first, when it looked like the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl, Boomer was interviewed for the I'm going to Disney World thing. Then Montana started driving downfield. Then the reporters quickly ran to the other side of the field to the 49ers side. And we all know the 49ers won because of the drive from Joe Cool. And I'm not talking about Joe Burrow here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Montana. Some would say the best quarterback of all time. Others would say second best behind Brady.
Yeah. And so the thing here is, in a certain sense, you have kind of an old school versus new school situation in both of those games. Because Mahomes is an established guy, and versus the Bengals, which has the upcoming set of guys.
Who's basically on the verge of being established in Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And then you got...
If he wins it, he will have established himself to the point where you could say he's elite for sure.
And I stand by what I said earlier. On the AFC side, you have the modern equivalent of Brady versus Manning. Meanwhile, in the NFC, you have Jalen Hurts. I almost said Justin Fields at first. But Jalen Hurts of the Eagles, young guy. Brock Purdy, rookie like 7th round draft pick. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, like Tom Brady, year 2000. Pretty much.
So we're looking at the rise of the next Tom Brady with Brock Purdy here, more than likely.
If indeed he continues and goes all the way, it will absolutely be like the ultimate Cinderella story for him. He will have basically got his shot to start and took the team all the way.
Now, if it is the Niners' destiny, honestly, to win the Super Bowl this year, I would rather he beat the Chiefs than the Bengals to do it. I'm just saying. Because I'd rather see Mahomes lose in the Super Bowl than see Joe Burrow lose in the Super Bowl. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Again, right?
Because fuck Patrick Mahomes, like fuck Tom Brady and fuck Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes he's had plenty of attention already.
And
we don't need to see more.
And he already has a ring.
Yeah, he's already got one, and he should give somebody else a chance.
And any one of the other 3 quarterbacks for the other 3 teams, I would love to see a Super Bowl champion. Bengals, Eagles, or Niners. Even though the Eagles had won it like a couple years ago.
Sure, and this is the one thing I will say about this Super Bowl is that, well, first of all, it's going to be as close to me as it's ever been in my lifetime, where I live pretty much.
Yeah, because the place is right there in Phoenix, the city that you call home, and where I'm going to be come April.
I'm literally like 3 miles from the place.
Yeah.
But not even.
You'll be able to see the fireworks anyway.
But
akin to us in Chicago when the Bulls won the Super Bowl every fucking year in the 90s. Anyway.
But at the same time, I'm also not even bothered. No matter who's there, no matter who wins, I'm not bothered by any of it, really.
Yeah, I'm
okay with anybody winning.
Yeah, we have no horses in this race.
No, I really just have respect for pretty much everybody that's there. I've got respect for all 4 of these teams.
Yes, I do.
And I'll have respect for both of the teams in the Super Bowl when we get there.
Yeah, so on that note, those are our thoughts of the conference championship round, our thoughts going into the Super Bowl. Okay, and as I said, we have no horse in this race. Our horses are competing for who can select their quarterback in the first round.
Our favorite teams are already done.
Yeah,
so,
our team, his team, the Texans, mine the Colts at this point now, are trying to find their franchise quarterback in the high end of the first round of the upcoming NFL draft. And I guess it might be even in May now, maybe.
Yeah, sometime in April or May.
With the extension of the regular season, everything gets pushed back just a little bit.
Yep.
So the combine gets pushed back, the Senior Bowl gets pushed back, the draft would have to get pushed back too at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But as it is, that's all we got for the NFL playoffs at this point. As we said, personally, as I said with my prediction, I predict the Eagles are going to win the NFC Championship, and the kitty goes meow and goes to a second Super Bowl with the Bengals. Even though I'd rather see the 49ers versus the Bengals in a rematch from the Montana Boomer era between those two storied franchises. But as it is, Nord?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to stop Patrick Mahomes. That's what I know. And,
it's going to be easier now with that ankle.
No, I know. Aside from him getting injured, I mean, if he's not injured severely, then he's obviously going to plow through. Most teams he faces.
Well, he did play on it in the previous round, so I don't think there's anything stopping him other than probably Andy Reid, the head coach of the Chiefs, at that point. And
at the same time, I did also say that the Niners are the favorite. They've been the favorite the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So, if indeed it turns out the Niners show up, show out, and win the whole enchilada, I would be like, yep, that's what I thought was going to happen.
Which is perfectly fine.
Complete team this year.
Yep. Still want to see Brock Purdy wearing Colts blue though.
Well, sure. Yeah, it would be nice.
But if they win the Super Bowl, there ain't no fucking way they're ever going to trade Brock Purdy though.
I mean, they pay the man at that point. They're not going to trade him.
Yeah. If anything, they might trade Trey Lance, and I don't want him as much as I wouldn't want Kyler Murray. I don't want an injury-prone quarterback on my team. We've already had that with Matt Ryan this year.
Mm-hmm.
But as it is, any other final thoughts about football before we advertise what's coming up next for content?
Nope. I think we've said everything there is to say so far.
All right. So on that note, coming to the gaming channel on YouTube from Twitch in the morning will be my attempt at playing Medieval Dynasty, in which you guys get to see me starve to death in the game because I couldn't figure out how to eat food. Yeah. So the title of that is going to be Drew Doesn't Know How to Eat Food. So stay tuned for that tomorrow, folks. And shit.
Yep.
Drop the controller here. There we go. At least the thing didn't come out. Anyway. But beyond that, over the weekend on Sunday evening, Underground Gaming Podcast comes back to review the Xbox Bethesda stream, whatever the fuck is happening tomorrow, because apparently it's a big deal, because now there's advertisements for it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's going to be not only big for the platform, it's going to be...
We need fucking release dates for shit that is supposed to be coming out early this year.
I think it's
because
going
it's
to be
early
the most
this year.
I think it's going to be the most important gaming presentation of the first quarter of the year, probably.
It better be the most important one of Xbox in recent years.
No, they do have they have things to prove, and they have things they need to get done, and they have things they need to let us know about, and they have things that they need to explain and fix and all sorts of things. But
yeah.
But yeah, it needs to be important. It needs to be meaningful, and they need to cover all bases, because if they don't, then they're starting the year off in a bad position, and it doesn't usually get any better from there.
Yeah.
Start out bad and just goes downhill from bad, and you're already in, by the middle part of the year, you're in a pile of shit, and that's not where you want to have your year go.
Mm-hmm.
They need to make a good. They need to start the year off by making a good impression here.
Absolutely. So I'll be watching that. That's supposed to be in the afternoon tomorrow, so I'll be watching that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out too.
I'm gonna try to be live on Twitch for a little bit before that, depending on what time I get up. Because if I get up like too late to like eat and then the thing starts, then I'm not gonna stream on Twitch until maybe after that, if I do it all tomorrow. At that point. Because if I don't stream tomorrow on Twitch, then I definitely will be on Thursday at some point after work. As it is. And then you guys know how I approach Fridays. I don't do a stream on Fridays because I don't want to be up against Friday Night Tights, because I love watching Friday Night Tights live myself. So. And then Saturday, going to try to do a game streamer of something or another on either YouTube or Twitch, respectively. And then, as I said earlier, Underground Gaming on Saturday night at about 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 Mountain Time, which is yours. So, as it is. Without anything else to add, that's all the content I have. Any content you're doing? Probably not, because you just fucking shoot from the hip as always for your channel.
Yeah, I haven't done anything in a while as far as YouTube goes, but
yeah.
Again, I usually just, like you said, go with the flow, whatever comes to me. If anything does, there might be something, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Well,
people that know your channel know to tune in.
Well,
here.
I know this: if you find watching your older brother starving to death funny, you'll probably make a meme of that.
Well, I don't, but
well, starving to death within a game, considering how incompetent and how pissed off I was, you'll see that tomorrow when it makes its way to YouTube. So. But on that note, fuck Tom Brady, fuck Patrick Mahomes, fuck Trevor Lawrence, and as a Colts fan now, fuck the Houston Texans.
Yeah, sure.
And welcome to the Colt Cast. No. Yeah. Anything you want to add?
No, we've said enough. We're good.
Fuck Naughty Dog, Raylos are weird, and fuck Roger Goodell and his wrinkled old, needs to retire and step down asshole. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep, see you guys.